Hey everyone, Steven here with Team Euphoric, and today I'm going to be taking Michael through a strengthening exercise for the gluteus medius muscle, and more specifically, we are going to be targeting the superficial fibers of the postero-posterior fibers of the gluteus medius muscle, meaning the fibers closest to the backside. In terms of the setup position, we're going to be in a side-lying position, and you can take your bottom arm and rest it underneath your head so you're nice and comfortable. From here, we want to go ahead and fix the lower extremity, so Michael's going to flex the bottom hip and knee. He's going to grab a hold of the knee or tibia with the top arm, and we're going to do that to maintain the retroversion of the pelvis. Next, we're going to set up the spine. Michael's going to maintain a flat lumbar spine, flat thoracic spine. He's going to keep his chin tucked in. With the crown of his head, he's pushing away from his body, and with his eyes, he's looking down between his thighs to put the dura mater under tension. Next, we need to set up the working extremity. Because we are focusing on the postero-posterior fibers, what we want to do is flex the hip to 90 degrees. From this position, Michael wants to maintain some slight flexion in the knee. The reason we're flexing the knee is to release the tension on the tensor fasciae lati muscle to get maximum recruitment of the gluteus medius muscle. And because we're targeting the superficial fibers, we want to go into pseudo-inversion of the ankle. So I'm going to have Michael go into dorsiflexion of the ankle by pointing his toes toward his head, and inversion of the ankle by pointing the sole of his foot down toward the ground. Now that we're all set up, all that's left is the execution. And for the execution, Michael is going to go into pure abduction of the femur. What I mean by that is he wants to go into as much abduction as possible without going into medial or lateral rotation of the femur, so just pure abduction, and he just wants to go as high as he can without losing the vertical pelvis. That's very important. You don't want to rotate the pelvis backward or forward. You want to make sure that it remains vertical, but that is the actual exercise itself. And in terms of the sets and repetitions, you would want to build up to 3 sets of 50 repetitions, and that's 5-0, not 1-5. If you don't want to count to 50, you can take a stopwatch, time it for 1 minute, and if you do 1 repetition per second, that'll take you to that 50 to 60 repetition rep range. But that was the strengthening exercise for the gluteus medius muscle, and more specifically, the superficial fibers of the postero-posterior portion of the gluteus medius muscle.